reset button would Cam need to hit?
I'm not gonna. I had the dialogue about Cam. Cam's back in tomorrow. He's gonna play.
Can I ask you? He said he talked with Marty St. Louis a little bit yesterday and had a good conversation with him.
That's between him and Marty. Yes.
Having a guy that played for you, how could that help him?
You have to ask Cam that.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I mean. I told you what I thought. We talked about the other night. I'm not trying to be coy or be an idiot here, but I'm just not going to get into a long conversation about it. That's done. Cam's back in the lineup, and we go from there.
And you said you've talked to Pierre-Luc a few times about him being drafted, where he was drafted, and the pressure that created for him. How has he handled that to your?
It doesn't affect him.
Yeah.
I think that's basically what I've gotten out of it in the conversations I've had with him. He's not too worried about it. He thinks maybe other people are worried about it, but he's ahead of the game as far as not getting too concerned about all that stuff and just worrying about trying to be the best player he can be.
Yeah. You feel like you're just scratching the surface with him as a player?
Yeah. I think he's really stepped in a little bit quicker than we thought, as we've talked about out here at the center ice position. Has handled himself really well. Finds himself in a line that's been pretty consistent. I'm sure in a long season there's going to be some bumps in the road. I think he'll learn even more going through that and trying to get his game back. But I liken him to the other kid that we had last year in Werenski. I don't think there's a. I think he understands pretty quickly what it is to get on the right road of being a pro. Does he have more things to learn? Yes, as Z does. But as far as the maintenance and worrying about the road he's on, he's there, and I give him a lot of credit.
We always think about lines, I think, from the offensive perspective. Do you feel comfortable enough with that Dubois line defensively as well?
Yeah.
You're playing him in any situation.
Yeah.
I asked that tomorrow night with the guy coming in. That's a big time.
Yeah. The only thing that that I've stayed away from with Luke is face-offs. I haven't used him a lot in the defensive zone. And like I told him on the bench, I said, I don't trust you. I don't trust you yet as far as face-offs are concerned. And that's the part of the game I know he's going to continue to work on. I've had a pretty good guy in Dubinsky who's had a pretty good run here as far as winning face-offs. I used him a lot there. But that's going to have to be part of Luke's game as he keeps growing. But one step at a time. I do not want to rush through this and put too many false expectations on him as he's still learning to be a pro, to understand what it is to play in the National Hockey League. It's Christmas. It's not even Christmas yet. And we're not anywhere near the dog days of a long National Hockey League season. We've got to be really careful.
Do you divide or do you compartmentalize your responsibilities in terms of managing personnel, schematic? Does it all flow together? Or do you think, like the Cam thing, just, managing?
The Cam, I'm not sure what you're asking.
When you have to make a move, say, when it's not an X and O thing, or maybe it is an X and O thing, I don't.
If it comes to the Cam thing, I really don't make those decisions. The player does. Yeah. So I think someone asked me the other night, is this a hard thing to do? It isn't a hard thing for me to do. I don't want to do it, but I have to make decisions for what's best for the team in that particular night. And really, quite honestly, I said the other night, for Cam too, I think Cam really needs, he needs to get his own attention to this. And if I have to bring some attention to it, I think it'll help him to understand, you know what, I am in a jam here. And that's part of my job. This isn't to kick a player. I think everybody always puts that, oh, he's out of the lineup. It's a long year. And Cam Atkinson is a very, very important player. And especially for this coach, as you guys have seen for the past 2 years, he's in every situation. And that's what I think of him as a player. So yeah, but that's not a hard decision for me.
I think he had appreciated the heart-to-heart, or maybe it was more of a building up than a breaking down.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to give you any information on our conversation, but you certainly, I'm not looking to hate players. I'm looking to run a team and try to get the players to be the best they can be. Quite honestly, this is my responsibility, and I think I have failed a little bit in this part where I have so many of our top guys not playing that well. That's my job. to try to help him. And I certainly have to look at myself here and try different ways to try to help him.
Sure. That combination with Doobie and Jenner is familiar with them. Was that part of your thinking of hopefully getting him going?
Yeah, I think it'll give him, it'll get him under the hash where he can get his energy going. I think last year when he has a career year, a lot of the time was spent with those two guys. So yeah, so we'll see where it goes.
How much of that is to get Boone going and get him to contribute?
Well, Boone's in the same boat as Cam. It's not putting them together. It was just a good line last year, and I want to try to go back to it. But Jen certainly has to get going too. So yeah.
John,
maybe we'll see. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I just wanted to ask you from an outsider's perspective. You said yourself that some of your top-end guys haven't had the greatest of seasons. What are the little details, though, that this club has taken care of to keep it in a good position through 30, 31 games?
Well, I think we've had excellent goaltending. You start off with that right away. And I don't think we have the result we have against Arizona the other night if we don't have excellent goaltending. I think we have some of the guys we didn't expect, the Lukes and the Andys, come in and play the way he has played. Bjorkstrand has chipped in 15, 16 points. I think some of the, I guess you'd have to call them maybe your secondary glue guys, have stood in there through 30 games here, have really kept us afloat as we're still waiting for other people to get going. Yeah, so, and I do think our checking has come and gone. I think of late our checking has been more there than not, and that's helped us. So, yeah, it's a team sport. When a number of guys aren't going, other guys have got to do the job, and they have. It's been pretty consistent with those guys. They've done a really good job for us.
John, you've talked for a long time about not letting shot count deceive the perception of a game. Where is your level of satisfaction in terms of the scoring chances the team is generating while you try and get these top guys going?
Yeah, we have developed scoring chances. Our last 5-game segment, it was probably our best segment as far as scoring chances for and scoring chances against, and that's an indication of a concentration on checking. Yeah, so it comes and goes. I think we've been pretty steady there. The thing I didn't like, I just don't think we had juice against Arizona. It was an emotional game against Jersey. It was probably our most physical game. Arizona, certainly they could have been leading by 2 or 3 after that first period. Some of the chances we gave up, especially in the first 5 minutes. We score a goal in the first shift, and then we no-show for about 7 or 8 minutes. So it comes and goes, but we have really put an emphasis on the checking part of it, on our reloads and our transition off of that. Because as we started the year, everybody's talking about we have an addition of a little bit of talent. Panarin's here, this and that. Our power play is going to be great. Panarin's going to add to it, this and that. Hasn't come to fruition that way, and so you just got to make sure it's not all about offense. It's about checking and getting offense off of that. So I think the guys have been pretty consistent with that.
If you're pleased with the chances numbers, particularly in this last 5-game segment, is that something to maybe ground expectations that this group can get it going, even while they're not?
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm pleased with the scoring chances that have been generated by Andy, by Brett, by Luke. I mean, we have 21 scoring chances against Arizona. None was from Wenny's line, you know. So I'm always monitoring that, and I just like to see it. And I think Brett was involved in 5 of the 21. Wenny's involved in none. Nick's involved in none. There has to be a little give and take there as we go through a long year. But I look at it half full. I do, because I do believe our guys will get going. I know I've said that to you many weeks, but I do believe there's some improvement. And if we can keep the other guys going at some sort of clip and get really our top guys playing, maybe we really have something here. We'll see what happens.
On the shots, how much have you guys emphasized getting rebounds, creating rebounds there in front?
It's been one of our inconsistent parts of our game this year in the blue. I think our team prided themselves on that last year, taking care of our blue and being in the opposing blue. Certainly not to the level where we need to be. Constantly showing tape on it, constantly bring it to their attention. I think that'll help some guys that are struggling. Yeah, so it's there at times, at other times it's not, so we've got to be more consistent there.